Greetings, scholars. It is I, David, your mind mechanic, and on today's morning rush, I want to talk a little bit about our emotions and how those can manifest, and all the, just some of the different ways they can manifest. And one thing in particular that I want to kind of just address is, you ever have that moment where, I'll give you a couple scenarios. So one of the scenarios is you find yourself feeling kind of depressed or sad, and you're not even sure why. And you're thinking about it, and you're trying to put your finger on it, and you just don't know. Or those moments where, someone comes up to you, someone that knows you, and they're like, "Hey, why are you okay? Why are you upset, or why are you mad?" And of course, if you're convinced that you're not upset or mad about anything, a lot of times you get upset or mad because they're accusing you of being upset or mad, and you're pretty sure you're not. Times where maybe you kind of fly off the handle and get snappy with people, and a friend someone close to you says, "Hey, what's going on? You're kind of grumpy today," and you recognize that, but you don't know the answer to the question. You don't know why you're grumpy. These are all pretty common experiences that we have, but it begs the question, why? And if you've ever wondered why, I've got some thoughts for you. So I'm going to give you just kind of the short list of the common things, at least when I'm talking to people in my office, common things that occur. So these are questions that I ask patients when they come in and they're talking about this stuff. So one thing I'll ask is this an anniversary of something? So anniversary of some traumatic event, and so like it happened around the same time of the year, and that could be the death of a loved one, that could be maybe you had a car accident that was fairly traumatic. It could be anything, but if it's coming up on that time of year, perhaps like I say, perhaps you it's that time of year, and your part of you remembers. We've been learning a lot about this. Well, I've been learning some stuff about this lately. Sometimes the body, there's a part of the body, and whether it's the brain or whatever, but something, reminds us, it's like we, whether we want to remember or not, it's there. Okay, so there's anniversaries. I droned on about that too long, sorry. So there's anniversaries of things. There's recent events. So I'll ask about anniversaries of things, and then I'll also ask, well, has anything happened in the last few weeks? So especially like if I've been seeing a person for a little bit, I'll say, all right, well, what's been going on that you haven't brought up? And again, this could be anything, but but any major changes, especially that might have some implications, some life implications. So any major changes in life that we haven't entirely processed, or maybe we don't want to process because they're uncomfortable. Those are things that are going on. Also on the simpler side, on the side of things, it's still kind of behavioral, but it's not quite as much as those other things, which is, did we get enough sleep last night? Sometimes that's a thing, and we're like, why am I so grumpy? And I know, that happens to people, but sometimes we don't, sometimes we're not paying enough attention, to our bodies and what our bodies are telling us. So sometimes we didn't get enough sleep. Did we happen to miss a meal or something? Hold on, folks, turning the car here. So we've got a lot of things that could be going on. Heck, it could have been something that just happened, and for whatever reason it just didn't register. Maybe we're trying to put it out of our mind, compartmentalize it for a bit because we couldn't deal with it in the moment, and then we kind of forgot about it. That happens. But like I say, there's simple stuff like sleep, food. Maybe you've been in the habit of exercising and you got out of the habit for a little bit. Maybe it's something that kind of made you feel good. So again, those are just some things that you might want to consider. Also, I just want to say that, you know, if you happen to have one of these moments where you're, you know, someone's like, hey, what's going on with you? And, you know, I know nobody wants to feel like they're being accused of anything. But I will say, you know, I don't know, if someone, especially if they're not really accusing you, if they're not being mean to you, they're not being weird, like they have a history of not, gaslighting and, you know, things like that. You know, if it's someone that you value their opinion, you might consider what they're saying for at least a few seconds, you know. Not so much that they're right on all the details, but, you know, if they make an observation that you're being kind of grumpy and short with people and you're not sure that you're doing it, you still might wonder why they're saying it. Like, if they're calm and they tell you this, I mean, you might just wonder, at least for, you know, a second or two, might wonder that. You know, don't internalize it completely. I mean, they could still be wrong, but, you know, we get feedback from people, and, you know, sometimes we got to pay a little bit of attention to that. So, again, that's just a short list of stuff in terms of our emotions. Hopefully, some of you, you know, found this a little useful. So, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up below, and don't forget to subscribe.